Welcome back. It's the spring season debut of the Friday Night Frenzy here on Channel 3. Now, if you've missed any of the highlights from tonight's show or just want to watch them again, and who wouldn't, visit WFSB.com. Click on Friday Night Frenzy. They're going to be posted all season long. Now, we get back to the highlights from this weekend. Here's Dan Booth. Dan?
Mark, now I know we're still a ways away from playoff time, but it's easy to see that a lot of these high school lacrosse teams are already playing like they're in postseason form. Let's drive down to Milford, where the Jonathan Law boys were hosting the Ledyard Griswold Co-op. Now, the Lawmen were setting that bar high in the first quarter. Their offense came out firing. The sophomore, Alex Conleyan, gets it to the big man, Evan Nash, inside, and he scores that, putting Law on top 4-0. In the second, the Lawmen looking to add to their lead. This time it was the other way around. Nash gets inside right there, and he finds Conleyan, who rifles it in past the goalie for another score. Law kept cruising, getting the dub at home, 7-11. The Foreign Lions laced it up against the Amity Spartans in a game that went down to the wire. In the second quarter, Amity's down by 2 until Logan Wooldridge does a fantastic job fighting through all that congestion in front of the net and then bouncing it into the goal, bringing the Spartans within 1. But 30 seconds of game time later, the Lions are on the move, and some crispy ball movement put Daniel Lavalley in a position to score, and he does in the blink of an eye. Foreign pushes their lead back up to 2. Despite Foreign taking a 5-3 lead into the half, Amity did a great job of battling back, pulling off that comeback win, 7-6. After that, I drove up to Amity to catch the Spartans girls lax team take on the Conard Red Wolves in a high-scoring affair. Strap yourselves in, because these two teams were firing from the opening face-off. Amity's Marley Lyons broke the 1-1 tie by putting her defender in the blender with some fancy footwork right there. Conard's Nicole Gorman. Now she has the answer, running faster than the speed of light before putting it in the back of the net, tying the game up back at 2. Now directly off the ensuing face-off, Lyons finds Haley Mario, who is an absolute beast inside. She puts it in there, making that look way too easy. And while that goal from Haley Mario did put the Spartans back on top, it was also goal number 199 of her career. Mario did score her 200th career goal later on in the game, and that made Amity fans really happy to see that. It was a good day for the Spartans all the way around, taking down Conard 18-11.
All right, time now to look at the brand new nominees for the FNF Game of the Week. First up, you could vote at North Haven taking on Hamden in baseball, Conard against Avon. That'll be a girls lacrosse game next Friday. And finally, Glastonbury at Southington in softball. Those are two rivals. Voting open right now on WFSB.com. Click on Vote Now to cast your vote. We'll be live at the winning game next Friday. You can vote until Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Can't wait. Now, at the college ranks, we have a lot of stuff to talk about here, because while the UConn basketball teams were dancing in March Madness, and while the men's hockey team is playing in their first ever NCAA tournament, the football team has been hard at work getting ready for the upcoming season.
And your sports director, Joe Zone, was in stores earlier this week as the team finished up its spring practices.
The last time we saw the UConn football team, they were up in Boston, beating North Carolina to win the Fenway Bowl. So what has UConn football been doing since that big win in December? Well, spring football practice, 15 of them wrapping up today. This season, spring practice ends without the traditional blue-white scrimmage. There are lots of reasons for that. Jim Morris says he gets a lot more out of just a regular practice for the final practice, but other coaches are also canceling spring games because they're worried about coaches coming in, looking at their players, and stealing them.
I think it's chaos. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's horrible for the players. I don't think it's the players' fault at all. I mean, these players, they see the money out there. They want to go get it. There's no contracts. There's nothing holding them back from them. They're young, impressionable kids.
Head coach Jim Mora doesn't like to talk much about what happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year for sure. But the fact remains, people are excited about what this football program did last season.
What we did last year is showing people around the country that we aren't just another kind of Passover game. When you're looking at your roster, like, we aren't one of those rosters that you're writing down, oh, we're getting a W there.
There's more people that are willing to listen to us than there were in the past. Recruits, transfers, a little more attention on your program.
Your reporter with all things UConn, Joe Zone, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in.
And we'd like to thank our producer, Mark Fidzikowski, director Jason Bowman, and everyone who made tonight possible. For Mark Robbins, I'm Dan Booth. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great night, everybody.